like when the channel says that we're a bunch of idiots that get together and ruin games, and I feel like a lot of that's vindictive.
Did I write that? Good grief.
Wait, that's not even true. We only ruined one game. We need to play more games. Like, can we just have Monopoly going at the same time?
We could ruin multiple games at once.
Playing Monopoly in D&D, right? Stop trying to play Monopoly.
That's the best part of D&D, though.
Is it?
At least compared to playing Parcheesi in D&D. I've never played Parcheesi. I guess I shouldn't talk about things I'm not an authority on.
Parcheesi's fun.
When we last sessions played, the verb I'm looking for, we ludified. That other root word, not the one that you're thinking of. They approached the city, and they planned getting into the city, and he crawled over the city wall. I think there were ropes involved. There was a horse involved. It turns out that the horse
on ropes.
There was a horse on ropes, yes, and the horse did not rope up the wall very well, as far as I recall.
He's still there today.
He may still be there to this day. And the players got sucked into the vortex that was sucking birds from the sky into the top of the house. Not the house, the mayor's estate. And I believe... Did anybody not go into the top of the...
We all
did
went
everybody?
in.
Everybody went in, but then Himrin got out
Himrin
first.
was the first out, yes.
Okay. And everybody else came relatively quickly out, I think. And you came upon a field of meat, essentially. And the mayor was all like, "Hey, what are you people doing in here? This isn't where you belong. Can't you go in through the front door like normal people?" And you're like, no. And he's like, "Oh, that's unfortunate." And you were like prodding him with swords.
For like 10 minutes.
And he was like, "Ow, that increasingly hurts." The degrees to which you are causing me discomfort rise with every passing moment.
Is this what I've been doing to people? I'm sorry.
And he implied that you were in the meat body that his minions were creating. He may have actually said it very explicitly. He may not have been implying it all. And
he kept saying it over and over.
Over and over. And Pimrin, I think, observed most of the wire pawn people kind of disintegrating themselves as the mayor had said would happen. I should probably move the microphone closer to her. And it does have the power on. Okay. And the pawn people who were right by the meat body were not immediately disintegrating, though. And then there was an eclipse that finalized right then. The mayor had been talking about how, I thought I had everything all set. I thought I was going to get this done before he showed up. And we're like, "Oh, well, who was that?" And he was like, it was the three Lord Neverborn, who was the same person who, the butler had appeared to Mr. Salir earlier, right when they set out. And he was like, "Oh, yes, here's the key to the mansion. I've been trying to get it to you, but three Lord Neverborn has been blocking me for a while." He's not been, though, for like the last 20 minutes. I wonder what's up with that. And we're like, "Neat. Thank you for the mansion. Time to move on." And so you did. And the butler was like, "I'll be here if you need me." You're like, "Thank you." He's like, "You're welcome." He was a very polite butler. Butlers tend to be, I think. The good ones, at least, and this one seems like a fairly decent one. And we left off, essentially, with the all of the skulls that had been inside the wire pawn people had chanted that three Lord Neverborn was being born into the world, and that he had a new name, and that he was going to bring order to the world. And that was where we left off, as he incarnated the meat body that the mayor had been preparing.
They walked towards each other.
Yes, there was a bone body that formed as sort of a skeleton. Then there's a meat body, and they walked into each other and formed a creature. And at this moment, the remaining wire pawn people are unraveling and their wires are all just kind of floating through the air and forming like these intricate geometric shapes, and all the remaining wires from all the other pawns are kind of doing that also. They're just kind of like making, basic primitive three-dimensional shapes in the air, while the skulls are just kind of evaporating into nothing. The ground beneath you is rumbling. What do you do?
Is there still a spinning tornado above the one building?
There is not anymore.
All right. Well, Perman's going to fly back over that way and see
Okay.
if the others are awake yet.
The others, I believe, are awake by now. Pretty sure.
Or are they trapped within the body?
If you weren't awake before, you're awake now. Some kind of a soul shockwave thing, we'll say, happened that would have woken you up.
Oh, good, you're up. Did y'all see that? Oh, it was pretty crazy.
I didn't see nothing.
Well, it was very well. You can see that body there now. Yeah, I'm not going crazy, right?
No, you're crazy.
Oh, great.
You do see a meat body that it was.
Yeah, but I don't have to tell him.
It clearly was the meat body. It is now shrinking to a more normal human size.
It's better than fighting the giant meat body.
Yes, we'll go kill it.
Yeah, I think we should at least try. Whatever it is, can't
Where's
do it.
my horse?
You
That's
left it tied to
your
the
horse
wall.
is currently tied to the outside of the wall.
Smash
Gotta go get my horse.
It's just dangling.
So it's going to take you a little bit to go over the wall and then to untie your horse.
It'd be faster
You could
to
just
summon a
cut
new
the
horse.
ropes, I guess, but
Did the peons not burn their way in like they were supposed to?
it's been like 2 minutes, and they have not burned through the wall yet.
We need better peons.
You may need better peons.
The peons are hard to come by.
They're pretty easy to kill, though, unfortunately.
All the good peons abandoned this.
All the good peons became pirates. Peon pirates. Pirates.
All the good peons were paid in drugs.
And then they died because you stopped giving them drugs.
And then there are the mages of this army that just didn't show up.
Yeah, all the good ones.
Yeah, you really have to raise them from orphans if you want a good one.
It's worked out so well every time.
So 9 is crawling down a building so that he can crawl over a wall and get to his horse. What are the rest of you guys doing?
That's gonna take you much longer than just summoning a horse.
9. Do we sit and wait for him, or do we go fight this stupid thing?
So you said the body is shrinking down to...
It is shrinking down. It will take it maybe 10 seconds to fully shrink to about medium creature size.
Okay.
At which point it is getting, probably pretty hard for you to tell from where you are. You've got to be hundreds and hundreds of feet away. You can give me a perception roll based on sight. Anybody who wants to tell more details about the thing as it shrinks?
16.
22.
Right.
9.
Ashit is not paying attention to it at this moment. Pimrin is... That's his name, right? Okay, Pimrin, he can see it getting smaller, and he can see it turning from reddish, brownish to white. And Salir can specifically see that its skin seems to be turning to marble.
Good.
Fun.
Can I tell if it has a horse head or...
It seems to just have a human head.
Okay.
Salir can tell that it doesn't have any features on its face. I don't think you could tell from there.
Fair enough.
The building underneath you begins to move gracefully through the ground, like somebody, wading through water. All the buildings in the town are moving.
To where?
Like converging? Or...
They're not really converging. They seem to be aligning themselves on a grid. This particular building is not especially cubicle?
No,
Cuboid?
that was right.
So it seems to also, its geometry is just kind of warping to make itself more cuboid, and as all the buildings seem to be to some degree or another. The center of where they're aligning does seem to be the meat body, though.
At least this way we don't have to walk over there.
Well, I was gonna fly anyways.
Well, yeah, I can't fly.
You should get some of these boots. They're very handy.
Yeah, my boots are just good for going up and down
But
towns.
I want them in a fishing competition.
Was it a fly fishing competition?
No.
Get out of your house.
So the building that we're on is bringing us closer to him.
Yes.
Yes, Solaire's just gonna sit down and enjoy the
Okay.
ride.
We're just waiting for Idiot to come back.
Who?
Idiot
You mean
with
the
his
lizard?
horse.
Can you give me 3 athletics rolls, please, 9?
He might come back, he might not.
Hmm. How are you gonna get your horse on the building?
Doesn't matter. 15,
Rides his horse through buildings. So.
23, 24.
You gracefully leap from rope to log to rope to log to rope, and within a few majestic bounds, you are up and over the wall to the city.
It's the most majestic I've ever seen.
As you are going, excuse me, the logs that make up the wall are straightening themselves out, and they are aligning themselves so they're all the same height. They also seem to be rotating, but you can't exactly tell how they're arranging themselves on that axis. It makes it slightly difficult for you to get over, but you get over.
I'm largely indifferent to reality warping around me at this point. It just keeps happening.
The ropes start to straighten themselves out. The straighteniness of the ropes it's kind of happening in from the ends that are closest to the meat body. So they're kind of straightening in the direction of the horse, but they haven't gotten to the horse yet.
A free horse.
The horse looks mildly worried at this.
A free horse, and I ride a horse.
You chop the ropes up and get on horse. Congratulations. What do you do now?
Are all of the idiots still out here?
You're on the other side of the wall to them, so the peons?
Yes.
Okay. You just refer to everybody as idiots. So
Everyone's
I just
an
assumed
idiot.
you were referring to the party.
Well,
I'm
the
sorry,
party is
party.
especially
I'm
smart.
glad that's right where your mouth went. Oh,
That's, I guess, who I thought he was referring to.
The peons seem very happy to have finally, caught the wall ablaze. It's burning. The flames are now going out.
Yeah, I didn't think that would work now. We're going through the front door.
Where's everybody else?
I don't care. Let's
And what's
go.
that screaming?
I'm sure they're unrelated.
Okay. They'll follow you, I guess.
We're gonna go back around to the front, because all the things stopping us from going in are gone.
Okay, are you walking at the pace that they can run, or are you just gonna go?
No, they're useless, so...
Okay, so you'll go around.
I just horse.
It'll take you a bit to get there. The 3 of you, what do you do?
I'll fly alongside the building, but
Okay.
it's slowly making its way that way.
It is accelerating slightly, so it'll take just a short amount of time before it comes to a grinding halt. About 100 feet away from what now looks like a bone white doll with lots of eyes sprouting from where its face should be. It points a hand at you, and you can see that there are eyes on the ends of each of its fingers. It then swivels its hand around. Doesn't seem to take particular interest in you.
Well, I'm feeling like we're already a little bit late on this whole deal, but it's probably better to kill this thing sooner than later. That would be my instincts, at least.
Should we go this way?
we can try.
Well, why the hell not? We can get nothing else.
You're gonna make him feel unimportant.
Who?
That guy.
Hell, Slayer has no idea what the hell's going on anymore.
Neither do I.
Grass isn't here to tell him what the hell's going on.
It's the mirrors.
I That was his primary source of, remembering what the hell he was supposed to be doing.
What a poor decision.
Dude, he's kind of, 8 for wisdom. He's not...
What did he do before he met back up with Goras? Because he was on his own for a while as a monster hunter,
He
right?
spent a lot of time drinking and gambling.
That's fair.
I don't think he was hunting too many monsters.
You only really have to kill like one to fund gambling and drinking for a while, especially if you're good at gambling.
It's true. The one time we cashed in on that was a lot of gold.
Yes.
That's a good point. But do you two have a way down, or?
Yeah, I can just walk.
Oh, perfect.
How tall is the building?
As its dimensions are altering, it's probably about 40 feet high.
I'm gonna stay up here.
It's going to be exactly 50.
Why?
40 isn't like a solid 5. Everything needs to be perfect, even.
He's
You taught
becoming
him
corrupt.
the rules for the heater of the car, haven't you?
The marble man's shins start lengthening, and he starts to rise in height, though his proportions are not, changing aside from the shins. And he turns and just begins to walk disinterestedly over a building that was in his way. He steps over to the other side and then unlengthens and disappears over the edge of the building.
Oh,
As he does this, what will you do?
that's less convenient.
Well, we just portal him someplace else.
Okay.
It seems like much less of a bother if we just send him someplace else.
You think that'll be easy?
Well, shouldn't he fall through and then the one on this side's asleep?
Well, yeah, but how are you gonna get him to go through?
Stick the key right between his feet?
Go for it. I'll wait.
You weren't coming anyway, so what the hell?
I'll be the distraction.
Yeah, you spun with the flat in the fishing pole there.
I'm not gonna throw rocks at him.
No, that's the rocks. And the lizard, of course, was nowhere to be seen.
Nah, I just assumed the lizard ran away again.
Some of the wire shapes in the air are floating slowly toward you. And if you look around and you see the other soldiers who came in to fight with you, they're still, quite a few of them still alive, who were engaging with little pods of the pawn people, who were, happy for the moment that they were no longer fighting them, and are now looking mildly worried at the wire cages in these different shapes that are moving toward them. Will you do anything?
So there's like wired cages that are being formed?
Yes, they're like it's like the wire formed into a cuboid cage shape or into a pyramidal cage shape, and they're just kind of floating through the air toward people. They're not like, you don't necessarily get the idea that they're going to encage people. They don't seem to be that big, unless they don't care about the bits that are, too big to fit inside. There was certainly a lot of extruding going on with the previous forms of them.
Indeed.
How fast are they moving?
Relatively slowly. Maybe like, you could definitely outwalk them right now.
Can we still see the dude, the body,
He went out of sight when he walked over a building and then unlengthened himself. You, if you rise up high enough with your flight, you can still see him. The others won't be able to.
Alright.
He's just meandering through the middle of the city away. Not even directly away from you guys, just in a direction.
If we're gonna do this, I'll just go fly over him, and then you'll know where he is because you can see me above the building.
Okay.
And the sun is quickly uneclipsing by this point.
Well, that's a good sign at least. I think. Maybe.
I don't know.
Okay, I'll come with you.
You're coming with me.
Yes, I'm trying to see if I have a log ship left.
I
I
have
don't
absolutely
remember
no
what screen
idea.
that was on.
The walls to the city are now
looks like
sinking into the ground, and quickly you're able to just run like into the city. If you run up the embankment, like right over there, it's definitely not on level ground, but you have a horse. Your horse is capable of traversing distances, and you can get in.
It sure is.
You don't necessarily see Yes, I know what horses do.
I don't know. Every time you've utilized a horse in this campaign, it has not been what horses do.
I'm not the one who tied my horse up and tried to haul it over a wall using anime bondage.
Good point too.
Sometimes horses do that
I guess. Sometimes you do it to horses.
in the wild.
I don't think they do that in the wild.
I think that's more of a zebra thing. I don't know.
I guess I will use my spotter and kind of run in that general direction.
Okay.
I'm just gonna try
Or
to
catch
stay
up
like
with this thing.
relatively over
Okay.
this new marble body eye thing.
And shit, what are you doing?
I'm following behind him, although if he's scooting along, I'm following
And-
behind because I don't move as fast.
He also can. I don't know if he's making use of it or not, but he can just walk up obstacles and get over them if he needs to. If he does that, how are you also
You
following?
know what? I wild shaped in order to get down off the building. I'm just gonna like ride on his back or something.
Okay. Or you're
I'm a
like
squirrel.
a squirrel.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Lovely. Then
There we go.
you are able to pretty quickly follow along. If you're really moving, then you can catch up with this guy. In
Why are we gonna
like-
kill him?
less than a minute.
He's not attacking anything. Why are we fighting this guy?
I don't know.
Oh, good.
We weren't able to sufficiently make friends with him while we were inside him somehow. Stabbing him.
Well, this is the same guy we were inside.
While his nerves were being formed, stabbing each and every one. Yeah.
Is this the same person we were standing inside?
I mean, you could try to make friends with him if you want.
No, I just didn't understand. why
I
we
say
were
in
fighting him.
squirrel.
He's just been talking
He
to a
speaks
squirrel.
squirrel, right?
Another portal opens.
I'm used to talking to Goraz. It doesn't. The answers don't have to make sense.
Wait, I don't even speak squirrel.
No, you don't.
A bunch of look like giant snakes come out of the portal, and there are people in gleaming armor riding these snakes.
Great.
All right, we're hallucinating again, aren't we?
I'm always hallucinating.
Of course, they wouldn't be riding
Oh,
horses.
I think we're still over.
They
at
were
Ryan's
going to
house.
be until 30 seconds ago. No, these snakes are flying through the air majestically as snakes that can fly do.
You can't ride a creature as a mount that has too much resemblance to your leader. It just doesn't work.
It's like having your king as the figurehead of your ship. It's perfectly fine.
They're not familiar, are they? These are...
You don't recognize their armor. And you don't recognize the snakes. They do seem to have just like perfectly ordinary looking swords and spears, though.
Well, I hate them implicitly. But
Understandable.
I'm going to ignore them and go try to stab a god.
Alright, which direction would you like to go to try to find him?
I
Probably
mean,
see a halfling flying around. I mean,
Can you give me a perception roll, please?
13.
You do catch a halfling flying over there for like 3 seconds.
Well, I go in that direction because I know that guy.
Understandable.
I just assume there aren't more. The things my enemies conjure up tend to come in swarms, and there was only one, so.
There's there's probably like 40 guys came out of this portal on 40 snakes, so depending on how you want to divvy that up, between 40 and 80 guys. I don't know if the snakes are, anything more than just, I mean, I know, but you don't know whether they're anything more than mounts. They could just be like horse, they could
40
also just be
guys
like
on
horse.
43 snakes.
They have a few in reserve just in case. In case they pop a fly snake.
I'm sure the snakes have human hands.
They do not appear to have any hands, but they haven't opened their mouths yet. They seem to be the snakes sniff in the air for a few moments, and then they point all in the same direction, and they go very quickly in that direction.
They scream dead
Snakes,
bodies.
related to lizards.
They do not
They're pretty
scream.
much the same thing.
They do not say anything at all, actually.
You should take them over as one person.
The three of you are within a short distance away from the dude, if you would like to be.
What is he doing?
Walking.
Away from us?
Yes, because you are walking after him.
Has he, like, left the wall of the city?
He's... Give him another 30 seconds and he probably will.
If he's leaving, shouldn't we just let him leave?
I don't know, just squeak, squeak.
Goraz can tell me what that.
He probably won't try it at least.
Can somebody who can speak telepathically with a druid that's in wild shape?
Yes.
Yes.
Goraz
Or else
would
would have been used.
You hear the distinct sound of 40 snakes flying through the air in your direction.
Very distinct.
And I suppose that Pimrin would see them. 40 big snakes with 40 medium-sized creatures in glorious armor riding them.
That's as many as 4 tens, and that's terrible.
Yes. They seem to be flying directly for the Marble Man. Rather than for you guys. And you also see 9 riding vaguely in the same direction as you
Well,
guys.
I'm not going to miss my chance to be a distraction, so I'm going to start pelting him with rocks. I've got a sling and sling bullets.
Okay.
I think I'm going to stop and wait to see what the snakes do.
Okay. You're pelting the Marble Man?
Yes.
Okay. Your rocks shatter on impact with his skin, which, that wouldn't happen if you just, hit another rock with him. You have sturdy rocks. You pick your ammunition very carefully, I imagine. But there's just like shattering when they hit his skin. He doesn't seem to be taking much notice. There was an eye that was forming on the back of his head. It just closes when you hit in the general direction.
And does he seem like, other than the eye closing, he doesn't seem to take notice at all? Or?
He does not seem to take notice of you. When the snakes get closer, his head pivots around on his neck, and another arm forms out of his back and points at the snakes. And one of them, the snake kind of gets sucked into the armor of the guy who was riding it, and then the armor just kind of crumples up into a ball of tinfoil and falls to the ground.
Well, I don't want that happening to me, so I fly back to the others. He doesn't seem very distractible, and did you see him crush that guy? Turn him into like a tin can?
Yes.
Yeah, that doesn't look very good.
Perhaps it's time to leave.
Yeah, I don't fancy becoming a tin can.
Well, yeah, but apparently he can just squish you.
He was making noodles earlier, now he's making cans of soup.
Yeah, sneak.
9, you see once one of the snake-riding people gets turned into a bunch of scrap metal, which is now rolling gracefully along the ground and is quickly forming into a perfect smooth sphere of metal. The dude wearing the fanciest armor, probably, the armors, they're mostly very similar to each other. It's really hard to tell any difference between them. The guy who maybe has the fanciest armor, he reaches into a bag at his belt, which must be a bag of holding, because he pulls out a skull that is much larger than the body of the bag, and he points it at the Marble Man, and the Marble Man's head begins to swell. He shakes it like it's not working. The head just continues to swell at a linear rate.
I'm gonna try to stab the guy.
He's flying the snake guy or the marble guy?
Marble guy.
Okay, the marble guy is, if you can get up to him pretty quickly, make me an attack roll, please. Do you have a magical weapon?
Yep. Okay. 11.
Your sword just scrapes against his stone skin.
Good thing I get 2 attacks. That's worse.
Oh no.
No, it's not. 14.
You see an open eye, and you move to very quickly stab it, but the eye closes too quickly, and you just scrape against stone eyelid. His head swivels to you, then swivels away again.
I think you need to go through him to try and convince him that I would understand that you want the key.
I can mine with my little square hands.
I
thing I'm gonna understand that you going with the little squirrel hands means give me the portal key.
Key. Squeak. Bite you a little bit.
They're being annoying
your
again.
ass. Can I just climb in his pocket and grab the key?
In Solier's pocket?
Yeah.
Yes. Unless Solier wants to try to stop you.
No, I think this annoying thing chattering in my ear is, I don't know, I can look for a peanut or whatever the hell the thing is looking for.
You can get the key.
Stick it in the ground underneath his feet.
Alright, you're going to have to wait until next turn to do that.
I didn't know we were taking turns.
You're going to have to wait for the next few seconds to do that.
Fine.
The marble man, his head continuously swelling, is going to point at the guy who's pointing the skull at him. Are you doing anything else, Pimrin?
Well, if I see, I guess I'll wait, because if I... Can I just hold some attacks for when I see a squirrel run over, I think, and try to be a little bit more distracting.
Okay, just
But
help
I
to
will-
make that
Yeah. I will-
hopefully be more unnoticed, the squirrel.
Yeah, and I'll magic up my ammo with magic.
Okay.
As well. All right.
And is Solier doing anything during this time?
No, he's just watching the guy's head swell up.
Okay. Cracks are forming in the marble skin, and you can see bright purple light shining from inside. The guy points his hand with the little eyes at the ends of his fingers at the guy pointing the skull at him, and an amulet around the skull man's throat begins to glow a bright red. There are about 10 other dudes on their snakes who their entire bodies seem to glow red from underneath their armor, and they begin to scream in horrific pain.
Ooh.
While the one dude whose amulet is glowing, his arm shakes a little bit, but he just keeps like at the marble man. He doesn't make those noises, but you can imagine it.
He should. It would help.
You put the key in the ground. Stones start to pelt the dude from the air as Pimrin is lending his distraction. Nine, are you doing anything as you see the squirrel manipulating the key?
I'm ignoring the squirrel.
Okay.
Though I wouldn't be directly under
You
the
don't need to
guy
use an
anyway,
action to do that.
because why would I go underneath the guy with giant stompy shoes?
Is there a guy with giant stompy shoes?
He has giant stompy legs.
He's just a normal guy at the moment.
Really? Well,
Yeah,
I
his
never-
legs de-lengthened almost immediately once he was on the other side of the house.
I assumed he was continuing to go up over houses.
No, there wasn't another house in the way.
Okay.
There would have been in like 10 seconds maybe.
I always just keep trying to stab him.
You can make some more attacks if you'd like.
Natural 20.
You hit. Your sword goes into one of the cracks that's forming in his head.
Does he seem to not like it?
He does not seem to like it, no. He staggers back brutally as you plunge the sword right in.
That's 19, and then...
And what kind of damage is that?
Well, it's just regular
Okay.
damage, but magicified. But also, I'm going to smite him.
Okay.
Because fucking... I'm pretty sure that's 2D some crap. I haven't played enough.
Is it 2d8 to start with?
2d8 base level, plus an extra d8 if it's a fiend or undead or whatever.
Which he is not.
Well, I'm using level 2, which I think is just another D8,
Yeah.
which means I roll another 6 D8s because it's a crit.
That's a lot of d8s. You're right.
How many more you need?
2. There we go. That was a 7. 28.
Awesome.
I don't know who gave me what. This was a mistake.
So you just did 47 damage to him. Would you like to make your second attack?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's only a 15.
That does not hit. You rip your sword out, and at first you think it's like red hot, but it's like actually purple hot. It's really weird.
Cool. I'm gonna use a shield bash. Which is my athletics versus his athletics or acrobatics to
Okay.
try and knock him prone.
Got a 25.
1.
You pull back with all your weight and you slam into him with everything you have, and he doesn't even budge.
And you fall through the portal and you slide off his back.
No. This horse combat involves me constantly disengaging with horse and running away to keep doing
The
whip
people
attacks.
on the snakes must be quite amused by what they're seeing down below. Ashit, can you please give me sleight of hand?
As a squirrel.
Would that require squirrel stats?
That would require squirrel
I
stats.
do not have a squirrel stat sheet in front of me.
There aren't.
What do you suppose a squirrel's sleight of hand is?
Not proficient.
I know squirrels are like really good at taking things when you're not looking
It's
and
good-
stuffing them in your engine block.
Would a squirrel have a 14 dex?
I
Probably not.
roll at +2.
I don't know, they leap
Well, that's
from
what it
tree
is.
to tree, landing on little branches.
8. I'm not using this one.
Thanks, Arch.
They're definitely proficient in acrobatics.
Yeah, they're acrobatic.
You make the portal, but the guy staggers away from the portal as you're doing it.
Well, I'll try
The
it.
portal forms underneath you because you're a squirrel and you're tiny. You fall into the portal.
I can jump out of the way. I'm a squirrel.
Can you please make me an acrobatics roll?
Am I proficient in acrobatics?
Roll at +4, please.
16.
You gracefully jump to the very edge of the portal and scramble off.
Nice. I want to try that again.
Okay, so
I can wait till he does his thing again.
you're going to need to get the key back.
I dropped the key.
The key stays in the ground
Does it?
until you pull it out. I don't know if we established that previously. Like, it stays in a lock when you make the portal.
I don't know. I was always just kind of assumed that we did it and held on to the key.
Usually, but you're a squirrel.
No, we've done that before
Gosh.
because then we've opened a new one and the first one disappeared. So we
Yeah,
had to
you're
set
right.
the
Never
key
mind. I'm not remembering right. You took the key with you.
Yeah.
So there's now a portal on the ground, and the snake people are staring at the portal, and they're staring at you, the little squirrel holding a key.
Hi.
And the marble dude is next to the portal? 'Cause he
The
doesn't-
marble dude is, he's within a couple of feet of the portal. He's pointed his heel at it, and you can see he's got an eye on his heel. He's now walking away from the portal.
Can horse push him in?
He is no longer pointing directly at the guy with the skull. The guy with the skull is now looking between the squirrel and between the guy. He points the skull back at the marble man.
Evasive maneuvers.
What do the rest of you do?
I continue attacking. Part of becoming born from Neverborn is existing and being able to die.
That is correct, yes.
So I continue trying to make him die.
Understandable. Would you like to make actual attacks, Pimrin, or would you like to be using your slings to do other things, or would you like to do anything
I'm
else?
planning to go into melee this round.
Okay.
But I'll wait till
Okay.
Actually, I just went and then she went, so it would be you again, wouldn't it? No,
Yeah.
you just did to help her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready happens on your turn, though. So when it comes back around to your turn after her...
We're doing very loose structure. I'm trying to not miss anybody, and if I do skip over somebody, please yell at me because I deserve it.
Sorry, I'll say I at least fly down to flank him with 9, even though he's covered by it, he probably does nothing.
Okay.
Just standing there watching.
Very useful.
whack my nice swords against the damn rock.
You did see what just happened to Mr. Nine Sword. It's definitely got a big, like, not really a chip. There's like a kind of crescent moon kind of taken out of the side of the blade where he smacked him on the arm while it was softened. It's still perfectly usable, though.
No way I'm whacking that thing with those swords.
It is a moon long sword, so
It's even better. He helped you by adding some thematics to it. Then I don't remember what I was saying. Please make attacks. You have +1 from flanking because Pimrin is giving it to you.
Oh, the flanking is working. Nice.
23,
You hit it.
16.
You smack him in the head, and you create more cracks.
Bonk.
Bonk indeed.
I'm gonna try to bonus action shove it
Okay, into the...
into the. No, that's a 1 again.
And
Well, then I go to my second attack.
You slam
Which
into
is a
him
shot.
again, and it doesn't work.
18 to hit.
You do not hit.
This man.
It was a good try both times. Pimrin, you have gotten to melee, you have flanking, you have +1 to hit.
Shillelagh out my club.
Nice.
And 19 next.
Your rod, it like bends over the top of his head and snaps back. And you more carefully aim it and smack him on one of the exposed bits of his...
First, I swing first, I'm like, oh right, Shillelagh.
Yes. Thankfully, the rod did not break because it is a masterfully crafted rod.
Indeed, yeah.
It is used to hauling tremendous fishes without snapping.
So
So,
19?
yeah. Do you have a? Yeah, it's shillelagh, so it's magical.
Yeah.
Yes.
That'll be 10 bludgeoning damage. Bonk.
You do bonk. He does not seem to care for this. Solir, are you doing anything? I know you're not attacking in melee.
I mean, if he's still walking away, I'll kind of keep
Yes.
following him at about the same pace.
Okay.
No, otherwise, I don't think I can really contribute to this battle very much.
The guy was, for a few moments, spending most of his attention on not stepping into the portal and hopefully not stepping into a portal, that you would open again under his feet. He now turns his attention for another few moments at the guy, pointing a skull at him and making his head grow. And, 6 of the dudes who seem to be linked to the guy with the skull just kind of melt in a pile of molten metal through the snakes, and they just kind of fall in a really nasty burnt meat mess to the ground. It's not very nice.
They really should have all tried doing things instead of just waiting for Skullman to do anything.
Yeah, the others seem to be frozen in place. They their snakes are that's exactly what it looks like. They're just frozen in place. They don't seem to be actively being murdered, but they're not moving. Oh shit! What do you do?
I'm gonna jump on his ankle,
Okay.
put the key in the ground this way wherever the portal is where he's stepping currently
All
at the moment.
right. He doesn't care much for that, so it's going to be
Okay.
fairly difficult.
I do
So
it really quick.
you'll be doing it at disadvantage because he is explicitly watching for you to do this again. But you'll still have that +2.
Can I have something besides a single digit?
I'm sorry.
It's 11.
That does not.
I don't want your
Do it.
stinky old dice. You can't even, these don't even have numbers.
They do have numbers.
No numbers.
He shakes you off his ankle. He tries to kick you into the atmosphere, but thankfully you get off before that happens.
Yeah, I can't imagine a squirrel has too much HP.
Wait, is there no atmosphere over here?
It all got sucked into the meat body.
Oh, great.
He'd kick me, and as soon as I left his boot, I'd be a person.
Do you preserve your velocity in that way?
We don't ask those specific questions.
That's a very good question. You want a sage advice?
The trajectory would get all sorts of fucked. That's what happened.
Assume the squirrel is spherical.
See, this would have been the time for a tactical bear strike.
You. The guy in the very front screams as the rest of the guys who seem to be linked to him all melt into the ground. And then you can see steam coming from inside his armor. But then he gives one last tremendous shout, and the Marble Man's head explodes. And there is a bright flash of purple light, and I need everybody to make me Constitution saving throws versus blindness. This is not magical. This is just a physical effect.
11.
22.
What's a squirrel
12.
constitution?
Wait,
Probably pretty
15 because aura.
Yes.
I'd be in your aura too, right? So
Yes, the two of you would be in the aura. You'd probably also be. You would. I think you'd all be in the aura, I'll just say that. So you're all getting what bonus from that?
+4.
Well, I rolled a 17,
Well,
so
I see.
whatever you want.
Okay.
Put me at a 16 with the +4.
Okay. If
Right.
you all pass then.
Constitution.
Not me.
The
Oh, that's right.
the bright purple flash threatens to blind you, but you squint away in time. Or you just happen to be blinking at that exact moment. Or you just tank it. And the Marble Man is now just standing there. And he has what looks like an amethyst skull just kind of hovering over his neck. And the lead guy on his snake, he's trembling for whatever reason, and he's just thrusting the skull out. And the amethyst skull above the Marble Man's head just kind of floats slowly toward the skull that he's holding, while the rest of its body dissolves into a pile of steaming meat on the ground.
I stab it.
You stab the meat.
No, the
It's just like
skull.
Killing.
Please make me an attack roll then.
What's his name? Your former husband.
15.
You smack the skull, it
Does that
spins
happen?
around once and then just keeps going.
Remember we killed the
Motherfucker.
body. and then we
Pimran, do
killed
you
the
do
skull.
anything?
Yeah.
I have a net. I would like to try
They
to
were
catch
separated.
the skull.
Ooh, lovely.
So
Please make me an attack roll with as though it was with your club,
oh,
I suppose.
natural 20.
You
20.
carefully put the net over the... you take all the time you need and just carefully put it over. You are now being dragged by incredible force as the skull continues to
Trying
move.
to struggle with my
Your body weight is unfortunately
wings.
far less than... And the leverage you're able to bring to bear is far less than the force that it is using
I
to...
imagine it's as if I was dragging my heels along the ground, but I'm just elevated by
Yes.
2 feet with that kind of motion. Yeah,
Solir, what do you do?
Dust still comes off the back of the
exactly.
Honestly, guys, it's gonna be the strangest damn thing he's ever seen. I guess I'd get my bow out just in case this thing decides to actually attack something, but so far it hasn't done anything except the snakes.
The other people on the snake seem to be unfrozen, and they're now kind of flying around. They seem to be looking around, trying to figure out what's going on. They don't seem to be paying much attention to you guys, though. And, shit, what are you doing?
I am seething in squirrel disappointment.
I am sorry for the squirrel.
It
Poor
was,
squirrel.
I was almost useful.
Well, you were distracting it.
No.
Is there anything else you would like to do?
No.
Okay,
Being a squirrel might be useful, so I'm going to stay a squirrel.
that's entirely fair.
You never know.
The skull is getting pretty close to the guy on the snake. As you get closer to him, once you're like, I don't know, 10 feet away, would you like to change what you're doing at all? You're pretty certain at this point you're not going to... This is, unfortunately, a catch you're not going to be able to land.
Yeah, this fish is a little too big, huh? Alright, well, I guess I will, I'll have to get my net back.
You can get your net unstuck.
Pull that back, and, do I have time for anything else after that? Or is
Yes.
it just, I guess I'll just hit the skull.
Okay, please make me an attack roll.
24.
That'll hit.
6 bludgeoning. Boom.
You create a hairline crack in it, and that's all that happens.
Alright.
Don't you have arrows? Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Has done not a single thing to any one of us yet.
I'd bite him.
Does the squirrel mimic drawing?
I look at him and go,
The amethyst skull merges in with the big bone skull that the guy was holding, and he just puts it back in his bag of holding.
Does
And-
it keep the crack?
It does not form a crack in the bone skull. It just kind of gets absorbed into the bone skull, and the bone skull doesn't look any different.
That's a pokey skull.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. He and his snake slowly drop to the ground, and all the other snake people follow him, though they seem, again, like they don't know what's going on. The guy rips off the armor over his arm that was holding the skull, and you can see as he disconnects all the fasteners, which seem designed for quick release, thankfully for him, I guess. It seems like his arm is covered in burns, and like he's having a hard time working the fingers. And he pulls off the helmet, and you see the guy whose office you invaded back when you came to town and needed some information about the gosh, what information were you trying to get? You know, you got in the guy's
Posted the
office.
ad.
Yes. And two, you left after taking his booze, I think I remember. Did you
Oh,
leave
that's
his
the
booze?
guy.
I
No, we
can't
put
remember.
his booze back on his desk.
You emptied it first.
I think you took some of it and then left him some of it.
Yeah, I think that's
Like he
right.
had a secret compartment and you found that, and
Yeah, that sounds right.
then
You're
you
like,
like
we'll break into your office, but taking a guy's booze, that's just not.
Oh no, we left it there deliberately to let him know that we had gone through his office.
gotcha.
Oh, right.
That
After
was-
scaring him away.
It was also like an entire cabinet. We couldn't just swipe that into a bag. Like, no, I have anything to carry that with.
He says, "We did it at last. I think it's all going to be okay now. It's been a long time."
Wait, so you're an enemy of our enemy, right? You're our friend, right? Are you?
Oh, he's a
friendly?
friend. He's a friend. Yeah.
I'll go over and try to cure the wounds on his arm.
Okay.
We were instrumental to that.
Says, "Oh, thank you so much."
I get a plus D4 because of one of my magic
Okay.
items, which is a total of 9.
Excellent.
No, he was very, very helpful the last time, I think.
No, I see. So you two know each other.
Sort of.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what his name is though.
Yes, I'd never forget the face of the man who ruined my life. Where's the other one?
He left.
That's a shame. He was an interesting person.
Yes.
It's been an interesting few months. Maybe I should thank you for, destroying my entire livelihood, because I could have just gone the rest of my life being a, drunk bureaucrat.
Well, you
Doing
deserve a
absolutely
better
nothing.
office than the one you had.
Oh, I thought so. And well, when you people tried to murder us all for absolutely no reason, as best as I can tell, we did a little bit of regrouping. We formed what ended up being the true monster hunters, of course. We've been setting things right. We've been organizing everything. We're going to make this country, we're going to put it right in the state that it really should have been a long time ago. And stopping the end of the world like we just did, thanks to your very amusing help. Thank you very much for that. It really looked like you got him good a few times there. So just congratulations. Thank you.
Give me the skull.
No. That's...
Do we have to have it?
Who are you? You
You-
blew up our entire
okay,
base, but I still don't know who you are.
He's the guy on the horse that rode through your whole office building.
Yes, I am aware of that.
That you guys tried to fireball.
I'm still not
And he
entirely
just
sure
said,
who he
"Fuck
is.
off," and,
It's not important at the moment, though. Goodbye. And he smacks his snake on the head, and it just kind of makes a meowing noise at him and doesn't rise into the air.
So we can trust them with that skull?
Him?
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
Oh, okay. That's good then.
I mean, he was actually trying to be helpful while, Nine was destroying the place.
Come on, he says, smacking the snake again. The snake still does not rise into the air. Do we have any of those reserves? Oh, goodness. Those poor bastards. He's looking at the piles of steaming meat and metal on the ground.
Why snakes?
Because we got them pretty cheap, and they can fly. We
Oh,
tried
that's-
horses, but it was really difficult making them fly.
That's a fair point.
It was much more efficient to just use the snakes.
But would these snakes be considered monsters, though?
Legally speaking, as of 20 days ago, no. They are domesticated beasts.
Of course. Just checking.
We had a lot of questions about that
Wanted to
initially.
make sure that the monster hunters weren't getting infiltrated by monsters.
Oh no, certainly not. No. Very legal, very above board.
Perfect.
When they work,
So are you going to be setting up shop again here?
oh no. Absolutely no desire to be here ever again.
No, I can understand that. This place is a pit.
Not anymore.
We intend to, take care of the border situation, assert our dominance over our neighbors just a little bit so they stop thinking that they matter. Stop thinking that they can exert their influence over us. And then we think, yeah, well, now that we got this, we think we got everything taken care of. We can take care of everybody else.
What about that thing that's rampaging across the country?
Yeah, I think now we'll probably be able to, use that to take care of it.
Yeah, give me the skull.
No.
Do we have to have another chat?
Can you please control him? I'm afraid
Okay,
he's going to start trying to hit me
the
too.
The last one was bad. You haven't seen what this one does.
I saw what he did. He sent everybody running, and we had to evacuate because he rode his horse through and
Yeah,
was
but
threatening to
he doesn't
murder
like
us
being
all.
told no.
Oh
That
yes, that's a
doesn't normally-
problem.
That doesn't normally work well for
Can
people.
we get a skull for him, please?
No,
he
I think
wants a skull.
Wants that skull. And
Yes,
the
that's a
bag.
problem. How about this? You can have it in 3 days. How long do you want it?
I want to use it to kill that thing.
Well, we're going to do that, so you don't need to worry about that. But
I'm
if you
pretty
want
sure
it for
that
another
thing
purpose, we can give it to you in 3 days.
It's
Why
seemingly
3
a
days?
lot stronger than the thing that you just...
No, you don't understand how these things work, I'm afraid, not compared to... We've spent months researching all this. It's 3 days, because we needed the next 3 days.
What is this skull and what does it do?
Right.
By the way?
Oh,
Just curiosity.
well, we've been just colloquially referring to it as the God Skull. It was just a skull. We don't necessarily know what it belonged to, but it has the power to just kind of drink gods into it. So the false monster hunters, the ones who, were perpetuating all the misery and bureaucracy in this accursed country, back when they were in charge, they had the thing, and we have all their records, actually. I'd be happy to provide you people with a copy, so you can see exactly how devious and miserable wretches they were. That god that, according to our files, you awakened, they kind of drank him. And so, that's who I was using to counter this one before he could, power himself all up. We thought it was going to be the mayor who did the whole awakening thing. That's what our sources told us. That's what the miserable excuse for a captain who thinks he's the head of the monster hunters told us.
I'm pretty sure
The
it was the mayor, yeah. Looked different, but...
And we've been... There's a creature by the name of Bobum. He said... He said...
Wasn't that your friend?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
He told us about you. And it took us a very long time to figure out exactly what you're doing here, because as far as we could tell, you really had nothing to do with them prior to this.
No,
But
it's
he-
very recent. Yeah.
He was explaining to us that there's all sorts of things apparently that have happened in the future but won't now, but it's because of the things that we could have done differently in the past that we didn't, but we're rectifying that by... He explained it like if you had a tapestry and you took a slice from over here and you pulled it out and you just kind of moved the thing here and then you put the slice over this bit over here. I don't understand it in the slightest, but it made a lot of sense when he was explaining it. And he said that he said that one of the Neverborn was going to come and interrupt if you specifically showed up, and so that seems to all check out.
So this is your fault.
Well, apparently, I do have a very specific mission. And
Although you
reason.
can't tell with him, he drinks a lot.
Oh, okay. Well,
I have been sober for several months now, but thank you.
I
Really thanks to you.
I do have a question though.
Well, we should have taken the liquor.
See,
Yes.
I was
You
here
weren't going to use it.
on a certain destiny, a certain mission.
Oh really? I didn't hear anything about
And
that.
I thought I had completed it,
Okay,
but then nothing really happened.
that's
But
unfortunate.
You seem real strong and real connected. Do you hear any like music right now or anything of that nature?
No.
No. Okay.
Well, no, because he
You,
just got
see,
rid
you're
of
the second
Neverborn.
person to ask me that.
The
Second person.
The Neverborn are of the music, magic.
Oh.
Wasn't it that other person who was with you? Where
The
is
mayor
he?
drank him.
Oh, okay.
He
Well, that
went-
explains that.
He went flying off with the mayor. That was the last we
If
ever
you
saw
hold
of
the
him.
skull up to your ear, do you hear anything?
That seems like a terrible idea, and I'm not going to do that. But I appreciate the critical thinking.
Well, my mission is to find the next chosen one, of course. We've got a candidate. It doesn't seem
Okay.
that chosen, so.
If we find anybody who can hear music, I suppose
We
we'll.
already found somebody to hear the music.
Well, there you go. What's the issue then?
He sat on the chair and nothing happened.
I don't know what any of that means,
Well,
but
nothing
I understand that you do. I'm not saying that you don't know what you're talking about. I'm just. I asked the question. I'm really to blame here. I'm sorry for that. Oh,
Yeah, you weren't nearly as chatty.
I just
last
lost
time.
all of my best friends. I'm never gonna see them again. They died a horrible death.
That's what drinking's for.
Yeah, that's what it turned me to it the first time.
Alcoholism again.
Did you say that's what happened the first time as well?
You ruined his life for a second time.
So
So
we're
are you
we're all
good?
done here then, I suppose.
Well, no, you still haven't given him the skull.
That is correct.
Oh, can't we trust him with it?
He's
Yes,
gonna
Well,
die.
I have all the-
I
I-
trust him with it, but
I've-
Nine seems to want the thing.
I've
Oh,
memorized all
yes.
the documentation. It's very complicated. You can't just use the skull.
I heard he picked up a gun pretty easily.
I don't know what that is either. You're
I-
using
I-
quite a
I
lot of
should show
vocabulary that I
show
just
the guy.
simply am not exposed to.
The squirrel.
It is inside the squirrel at the moment, somehow.
Oh, why are you squirting?
We go to where the Neverborn are from frequently
Okay.
and kill a lot.
I was under the impression you can't kill them until they are born, which is why they do not allow themselves to be born.
That's why I
get
said a
around that.
lot, not kill Neverborn. We kill a lot of people who
Oh.
go there.
I see.
To be clear, I wasn't a part of it.
So what's wrong with your snake?
Legally, I was
Um,
not a part of it.
They're just very moody. Once you let them down, they think that their day's work is just done, and they don't like getting back up until they've had a big dinner.
So you're related to the snake then?
If we have like a mutton around here or something, maybe we could
I mean,
feed
that's basically
Mr.
what
Cherry.
he does. Once he's done, he just walks off and goes and takes a nap.
I have been told that the cold-blooded creatures who walk among us do behave in that manner.
I did make treats earlier today.
Oh yes.
Can I offer the snake a treat?
You can offer the snake a treat. High or low?
Hi.
The snake peels back its upper lip and its tongue slithers out and prehensilishly grabs the treat
Fish treat.
and then pulls it back into its mouth and it just kind of swallows it.
It's a very large fish stick.
Lovely. It then makes a happy snake noise and begins to rise into the air. Oh, thank you very much. That did it.
Cat.
No, that's what the
You
snake
just
sounds
follow
like.
him for 3
Exactly.
days until he inevitably fails.
Flying
Yes.
snake.
Get himself killed.
We
Yeah.
could
Large
just
enough
simply
to
follow
mouth.
him.
It sounds
You're
like
more
a-
than welcome if you can walk through portals. We could try to open. Oh, yeah.
We open our own portals. We don't.
We are.
All right. We are
It's
the
a very
portals.
bad portal. Let's do a different portal than the one that
Yeah.
doesn't take your body with you.
It was at max capacity. It's not anymore.
How convenient.
So, we could take you along if you wanted.
They have a special vested interest in the Neverborn kind of going away because they keep trying to steal our souls specifically.
Well, I don't think we're fighting any more Neverborn, hopefully.
Yeah.
Because we don't have any intelligence on any more of them showing up is the problem.
You lot seem a whole lot more powerful and competent than the folks we were working with before. So
Oh, who was
With
that?
The old monster hunters.
Oh, yeah. Those
Yeah.
little bitches, we took all their stuff.
Wait, are you the ones that said they would show up earlier but didn't?
Yes. I thought I made that clear.
Okay, yeah.
For the record, they're why we
Yep.
trashed your office.
Yeah, that sounds about right. They're terrible people. They
tried to
ruined
kill-
this country.
They tried to kill us.
Yeah,
and
we're
we
gonna
went
fix
to try
everything.
and figure out why they tried to kill us, and then everyone in your office tried to kill me and failed.
Yeah, nothing I'm hearing is surprising in the slightest.
What I'm saying is, it's all their fault, not ours.
If you want to go fight Neverborn,
Sure.
I know where there's a portal that you can go. We just have to turn it back on again
Oh, really?
and go fight Neverborn.
And when you say go fight the Neverborn, what do you
No,
mean?
they're on the other side of the damn portal. We didn't go over there.
So you're talking about going into the dreaming place we keep reading about?
We go there a lot.
I hear it's not terribly dangerous so long as your body doesn't go through, but I'm not sure what that means either.
That's what our portal does. It leaves your body here.
Oh, that's pretty
Well,
convenient.
yeah,
then.
there's a portal inside the mansion that the butler gave me the key to. That apparently Wrath was communicating back and forth to the Netherborn through this portal. But we shut the portal off.
I wonder what happens if they use the portal that brings your body with you to come into the real world. Does that count as being born?
I don't think that place is in the real world.
What, the Butler's house?
Yeah.
How would we even get back there?
Yeah, they go to there
Right
and then
there.
they come
We
here.
don't know how we got there.
Question. While this deliberation is
Yes.
happening, the god's body had its head explode and the skull
Yes.
floated over. What's happening to its body now? Is it just
It dissolved back into like ground beef, which is the form it originally had.
Is it ever expanding because it condensed itself into marble?
It is not actually. It just seems to be like a
There
Like-
must be so much fucking
like somebody took a
protein
mold
per
of
inch.
somebody took a mold of just like a dude without the head part of the mold and just kind of scraped beef into it and made a meatloaf out of it and just kind of plopped that on the ground. Like the granularity of the beef seems like it doesn't look like it shrank down. Like it just looks like there is less of the meat now than there was previously. If that makes any sense.
Get to the mansion.
Maybe it just takes a lot of energy to do whatever the he was
I don't
doing.
I don't know how we got to the mansion the first time.
Just summon the
We were
butler.
just there. I don't know how to summon the butler.
Try.
Cameron doesn't know, but I think we went there because of the blue portal dude, right? The
Yeah.
blue dude that's
Yeah, he
there.
The-
opened the portal to it.
The butler did specifically give you a
I got a key.
you have a key.
Just,
I think he
Oh, is that
told
how
you
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 get
can
to
just
the-
use the key to the mansion to open a portal to the mansion.
Yeah, the key to the mansion. That makes sense.
Did
Let's
you ever
just-
figure out the blue guy, by the way? He portaled us there and said thank you and left. I forget. That's all I
Yeah,
remember.
that was he showed up to you guys and he was like, "Hey, I'm looking for something that belongs to me. If you can help me, I'll give you part of what belongs to me." And I think he was just specifically there because Wrath was the host of the dream, and it didn't really have anything to do with you guys in particular.
I
Because Wrath
guess
was up to some weird stuff.
we'll go with you. You're like the third Deus Ex Machina, so
I don't know what that means.
you're not familiar with narrative devices?
They just
No.
don't speak Latin.
I read manuals for a living. I write manuals for a living.
No wonder you were a bureaucrat.
Yes, he's very good at this job.
I'm writing a manual as we speak in my head. Don't ask me why.
That's impressive.
For what? Please ask me why and for what.
Well, it's not for getting your snake beheaded and then butchered by me.
No, that wasn't at all what I was intending.
Good, because you're not very good at that.
Oh.
But
Okay.
for now, a
Yes.
portal would take us an awful lot closer than that thing that needs to die. I'm certainly not walking.
What's
I
the
mean-
thing that needs to die?
The thing that's eating the country.
Yes, the eruption of magic, which was the, excuse me, goodness, which was the sage, Yes, he has, I believe, devoured millions of people so far. Quite a lot of people.
Apparently, we caused that.
I-
I'm iffy on the details. We killed one guy, and then that happened when we came back.
Yeah, I'm afraid I don't know any of that. They burned the records before we could apprehend them for that particular mission. It seems like maybe some very important people were very negligent, probably. Yeah, so I'll take your narrative, but we'll just put that down as the new record. Doesn't matter.
Did you just put that new record down in your head? as
Yes.
well? Okay, just checking.
That is the basis of all new records.
Oh, very
If I
good.
died, it would be very
That's not
unfortunate
the
for
guy
the
that
new
tried
order.
to kill us at your house.
A little. That was a Neverborn thing.
Do you have a mind palace that you walk around in your mind to like file documents?
I think he's just autistic.
I actually do, yes. I was just somebody was just
I've
telling
heard
me
of
about
that.
that a few months ago, and really that's a large part of what changed my life around is learning how to organize things in my head rather than in a
He
library.
was very disorganized last time we met.
You might be the chosen one after all. That's an impressive skill.
I don't hear any
You know,
music when I'm
he
doing
might
that,
be
though.
chosen.
Maybe you're chosen by something else.
Perhaps.
Chosen by destiny.
If you'll excuse us, we're going to go exterminate the rest of the false monster hunters. They have been fleeing for the last few minutes that we've been conversing.
Don't bother.
Yeah, what do they got to do with that?
Well, if you let them live, they'll come back and cause an uprising and probably cause quite a lot of property damage. And
You're talking about the little guys that were too incompetent to scale a wall.
yes,
How are
they
they gonna cause
they're the
damage?
underdogs. They'll stir the hearts of the people, and then we'll have a whole problem on our hands.
That's
Well,
never happened
you
ever.
seem to
They
be
couldn't
down.
stir a pot of soup before. How do they stir in the hearts of the people?
You seem to be down a number of troops after this whole event. Why don't you just bring them on board and train them up? I'm sure that the peons aren't that all
I mean,
that.
didn't we earlier identify some that were better? than
Yeah, there are
others?
some that are better. I think the ones that are better are currently watching the chosen one though.
Well, I suppose as we are instigating a new order of knighthood, perhaps we could use some squires and
You're putting a
snake
lot
stable
of
muckers.
you're putting a lot of onus on the people that were just getting paid to do their jobs. You basically just got to kill the captain. The whole
Yeah.
thing's
I
decentralized.
understand you got to do what you got to do with the leadership. But, the people.
Well,
are
anybody
useful as well.
who.
Like we were monster hunters.
Well, yes, but
What's
you
this
weren't
word?
monster hunters. Monster hunters.
I was not a monster hunter.
Oh, that's good. That's
I
better
still-
than
I still
the
am.
alternative.
I'm writing a book as well, actually. Not nearly.
Oh,
as-
really?
This one wasn't. Yeah.
This,
Squeak.
The squirrel was in fact not a monster hunter. I wonder if there has been a squirrel monster hunter in this world.
I hope so.
There's a non-zero chance of it.
It is
Just a
now.
tiny little helmet, like a
Yes.
little right here. Like,
When you're a warlock, it doesn't matter the size of your implements. Your eldritch blasts are the same size. Just you do a mouth laser eldritch blast.
Can my next character be the world's smallest warlock?
You can certainly try.
Like this big.
We
like a
can.
little squirrel, but it's like a Dragon Ball Z character based like with
Yes.
amount of power for its size. Yeah.
I'm sure somebody has figured out how to min max your size, min your size. I don't know what the proper term for that would be.
Max min.
Min your size. But yes, I suppose to attack a fortification like this takes some, courage and stalwartness, and I have to imagine perhaps some of the.
They were
Another
all
common monster
starving
hunters.
and they still ran in.
How they do not treat their people well. That's horrible.
Well, I think we fed some of them.
Some. We like 10%.
Yes, I provided some fish from the local pond. Not too many, so that the population wouldn't dip down to critical levels. But
That's very ecological of you. Yes, I suppose we'll give the ordinary rank and file people a chance to turn their lives around. After all, I was given a chance to turn mine around, and that was exactly what I needed.
But
I should
kill-
give others what I was given.
Kill the captain though. I hate
Oh
the
yes,
captain.
certainly, we're going to do that immediately.
Well, yeah, I mean, he tried to kill us.
Several
I don't know how many
times, and then he tried to use us, and then he tried to make us gods, and then he tried to use us again.
Oh,
what if
I'm-
you simply capture the captain, And
Yes.
Just ask him questions about all the records that you burnt and stuff.
We could do that, I
Torture.
guess.
And then if you have more questions in the future, you'll still be allowed to answer.
I suppose we could do that. It's better for morale to execute the prisoners, but I suppose we. Sorry.
Well, we didn't execute.
I suppose we could do that too.
We didn't execute
The
you.
executions will continue until we're all.
Although it was debated. It was debated whether or not we should just kill you when you were done being useful.
Oh yes, I assume that. I assume you just intend to murder everybody you come across.
Wasn't he just a cleric?
I'm just the chef
Goldworker.
who's been chosen
Yeah.
by destiny.
He,
Why were you
I
gonna
see.
kill him?
Why not?
Jesus Christ.
Like-
Even I ran in there not killing people until they fireballed me. I showed up with the horse as an intimidation tactic. You don't just kill bureaucrats.
But they
They're basically staplers.
did it.
Who are you hurting?
I'm still
We
alive.
didn't kill him. We didn't even take all his alcohol.
So I'm gonna go. See you soon. Away.
No, we're
He says the last word to
Come
the
with
snake.
you, yeah?
Oh yeah, I'm not leaving. I'm just going to go capture wherever he's hiding.
He should be at the front gate.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's
Okay.
gone by now. We have
Yeah.
one
We
telepath
left him
still
up at
living.
the Dix estate. He was
Oh,
up there with
he's
the rest
still-
of the army that didn't come with us.
The captain?
Yeah.
No, he went along with you. He was
Oh, did he?
effectively leading the charge. The only guys who stayed behind were the squad that had gone out to
The sewer rats there.
recapture the.
Yeah, I thought we
chosen
told the
one.
captain to stay here and guard the estate.
No, the captain did not stay to guard the estate.
I mean, he might go back to the estate.
Well, that's where the rest of his army is.
Yeah, like 40 guys.
Just gonna leave him there.
Anyway, kill him. Get everybody else.
We're gonna capture him. Maybe we'll kill him later.
That's gonna come back to bite you.
I imagine so, but there surely must be wisdom in trying to figure out what he knows first.
Every single
He
person.
definitely can't. He's not. What is he gonna do? We're gonna have everybody watching him.
What were you gonna do? You were a desk jockey. Everyone
What
we
do you
meet
mean what I
and
was
then
gonna do?
stops seeing for a period of time comes back as a super powerful being that defies all laws of convention for no reason.
That's so much coincidence. I can hardly believe that. What are the odds of it happening again?
You're the third time.
So,
I think you're.
can you imagine the odds of that happening a fourth time? What? Can
It
you?
actually goes
what sort of
up
probab-
after 3.
Do you ever visit casinos while you're doing this?
That is a vice I have never indulged in. I know better than that.
Well, I believe they
We
call that
need
one
to
the
teach-
gambler's fallacy.
Once is a chance, twice is a coincidence, 3 is it's gonna keep fucking happening.
I don't think that's what the statistics support. No.
It's not about statistics. There's a root
Did
cause
you just say it's
somewhere.
not about statistics?
Yes.
The entire world is based on statistics.
So,
Sir.
Nine, are you saying we should just kill him now
Well,
and take the damn skull?
I was considering it until I realized that teleporting across the country would be very convenient. But I haven't ruled out killing him once we get there.
Or we just all work together to a common goal.
Yeah,
At
that's
this, I just want to be clear that I am interpreting the death threats as friendly banter. I know that's not how you're intending them, but that's how I am interpreting.
We tried that
Very
with the
generous.
cult.
Has he?
We tried that with the dream world. We tried that with the old monster
How do
hunters.
we know that he can teleport anything? And somebody
He just teleported here.
How do you know he's responsible for that? Not somebody else sent his ass here. He's
I
a
was the one
low-level
responsible for it.
bureaucrat after that.
I do.
He
Well-
was very magical a minute ago. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt on that.
To be clear, I'm not very magical. We just have all the artifacts. They're very useful.
So you're saying I should kill you and take
Just
the
take
artifacts?
the artifacts, then we don't need you.
I mean, you could. You're probably
Why
gonna
not?
end
I
up.
know we could.
Well, that means
You
we
probably
lose
end up in
more
outer
points.
space. I'm not telling you how to use them.
We've been there.
Oh,
That's where we
Really?
met the fish.
he did say that is where he was. Yes, that's where we met him actually.
There you go.
Yeah, but we know how to stop being in outer space. That's the hard part.
We stopped being in outer space.
That's also interesting.
That's how
how
we
did you
got
do that?
I'm not telling you.
No, that's fair.
If you don't know, why should we tell you?
Oh, I know. I'm just confused how you did. If you don't have the means
We
of
get a
portaling.
lot of that.
He is useful to us, just like the captain is useful to him. We can get information from him.
Let's not make that analogy, please. That's not.
Well,
so
you're
saying we should
That
tie him
seems the
up
exact same to me. So
Yeah,
you
it's-
should really think carefully about killing
This is a
captains.
repeated
don't kill 'em, we
process.
just
It's
tie 'em up.
happened to us
Yeah,
several
that's good.
times.
That would make sense to me. Yeah,
Someone with a
just
crazy
lie.
amount of sudden magic power, Deus Ex Machinas, tells us to do some things and either betrays us or dies off screen, and then we have to do everything anyway until another Deus Ex Machina shows up. It's non-stop with you people.
Is Asha still a squirrel?
Hushit is, I think, still a squirrel.
Why does he keep speaking foreign languages?
It must be the language of the Dragonborn who live on the mountains. It is known that they have peculiar dialects.
I speak 4 languages.
Very peculiar.
I don't know which one Latin translated into, Abyssal or Infernal, but probably not Draconic since that was basically a bunch of hillbillies. That's gotta be more like Cajun.
Huh. I mean, like, the best that our, real world scholars can tell, the current dialects of, like, Appalachia descend, like, directly from vulgar English that was actually spoken in England and is, like, the best historical preservation of it. So, like, you could potentially be just speaking very flowery by accident, because that's just what the Dragonborn speak in the hill country. That's just what Dragonborn is.
So I'm
Just
confused. Are we tying him up, killing him, or letting him go?
Definitely not killing him.
We're
Yeah.
not killing him. Okay.
I'm glad to hear that. He's rising into the
He's
air
very
on his
useful
snake.
alive.
Nobody told you he could leave.
Also, all the other snakes can't fly
You
yet.
don't
So.
fish.
They never
all the
landed.
Fish out of the pond
Oh,
as soon as you
okay.
arrive.
'Cause they know
Come on,
better.
It's more useful to you if you slowly
It's
get
okay,
stuff
we
out.
shoot him out of the sky. I ain't too worried about that.
That would be a very unfortunate. I'll see you later once I'm done with the captain.
That was not part of the agreement.
Goodbye.
Done tying up the captain.
Yes, I do intend to do that. That is very good advice.
Do I believe him?
Yes.
Okay, good.
He is being very earnest about it.
Just earnest about it as he just
You should have just killed him then.
You can try to shoot him down if you want. He's like probably 30 feet in the air at this
It's just a
point.
gun.
I'm gonna let it go because I don't know how to fly a snake or teleport. So
His knowledge is very
I don't think we need to fly any snakes.
it's
Are we
very
done
far
here?
away. Yeah, I mean, once again, someone else got vengeance on the guy I was after. At least this time I saw it. And then someone got vengeance on that guy, so I think we're gonna take a nap.
So are we not following him?
He went up.
Well, yeah, but we know where the captain is, so
I'm really wrong.
he's going to some place we know where we need to go.
Several peons kind of crawl out from behind a building and just kind of inch toward 9.
I saved you.
Thank you. What was all that? They were clearly talking like they wanted to murder us.
Convince them to make you join them instead, so...
Yeah, I was hoping that I was interpreting that right and that it wasn't just a very hopeful hallucination. So, I mean,
Let's
that's
explain this. A lot of things. That seem like hallucinations
yeah.
today.
I'm not sure if I'm actually awake at the moment or not. They can tell you everything that's going to happen. That doesn't mean that you're ready for it when it happens. At this point, at least, the buildings have stopped rearranging themselves. Things have not reverted at all.
That's fine. This place is literally better.
It is.
Except for all of
Literally
the
better,
people
yes.
being gone, but that was not that guy's fault. That was the other guy's
Yeah.
I feel like after the story of this town, nobody's ever gonna want to live here again, though.
I certainly don't want to live here. This is
neither do I.
I don't even believe in ghosts, and I think this place is haunted.
So do we go where the captain's at?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even intend to visit here again. They have horrible seafood.
Yeah.
The sad.
You should have just tried the eggs. The eggs are much better.
I could've.
We ate them all.
Oh my god. You saved all the orphans.
From what?
Being here.
I'm a hero.
I say to a
Would-
squirrel in front of this guy.
Would the orphans have been here right now if If it hadn't been for...
Yeah, everyone who was in this town would have still been here when
Well, the
Horse Mayor
but
was
orphans
here and
that were
turned
from here,
everybody
yeah.
in.
Would you have just left the orphans behind?
Well,
No, the orphans she had to buy.
Yeah, by
The
buying
orphans-
the orphans, I saved them from being in this town when it was
Yes,
destroyed.
so just all the other orphans got
Yeah.
eaten.
She saved like
unfortunate.
40
Somebody can buy it
people.
once.
That's
And only killed like 5 of them.
that's pretty heroic, all things
40
considered.
people with the power of
Once
aggressive
again.
capitalism.
Yes.
It rises to the occasion.
The squirrel's just really happy.
Okay, so
I wish
what,
Goras were here, he could tell the orphans.
this is true.
He's here in spirit or
Just a
something.
second.
else.
He's actually not
By
here
the
in
way.
spirit at all.
Just send a message to the orphans. By the way, we saved you. Everyone you ever.
And then 30
You're
more
almost
messages describing in vivid detail where they got turned into fucking
Think how many
pastrami
more
by a
orphans are
horse.
out here?
All your friends, all your neighbors,
Your
your,
homeland is
parents. Oh, wait.
cursed. Everything is dead.
Everybody
Yeah,
important.
that's gotta be a lot more
Never
orphans.
come back.
The town isn't even the same
Probably
anymore. It
for
got like
You will
rearranged.
literally never recognize the place that you were born ever again. It is the geography has been,
But we saved you. Don't
but we
worry.
saved you. We turned you to a life of piracy, but we saved you.
It's always pirates.
Always orphans, always
It's
pirates.
true.
Yes. Always sewers.
The two cornerstones of fantasy: orphans and pirates.
Yeah.
Never orphan pirates though, because then you don't have a faction to war against.
I think my orphans are pirates.
They are.
Well, there you go. They have the perfect life, and they'll never have any conflict in their story ever again.
It's okay, mine have
We
been
did
living
save
in a
them.
casino now for
They own
months.
Yeah, they probably have taken it over from the ostriches.
it.
Yeah.
They weren't real.
They
They
weren't
was
real.
ghosts.
They may have imported ostriches just to have casino ostriches.
Everybody in the casino dreamt of ostriches that night.
So they ordered ostriches. Like,
Do orphans dream of ostriches?
they do now.
But what do you do?
I'm going to chill with all these folks. I don't need to watch a snake man wrangle another man. I'm pretty sure I could kill both of them. Like, it would take a long time for that guy to steal my skull, I'm pretty sure.
It would take a long time for that man to steal your skull.
Well, he did say it drank gods, so I feel like,
Not one yet.
yeah, maybe it wouldn't work. Only steal part of your skull.
I'm not using all of it.
When you said it, I was just thinking of, like, you have already claimed ownership of the magic skull. And I was trying to figure out what you meant by him stealing. Like, why would it take him a long time? Like, if he really wanted to steal it from you, couldn't he just fly away? But, yes, you're inside your skin skull.
So if you're wanting to use him for transportation, why did we let him go?
What am I gonna do?
I trust him.
He went up.
I mean, I could have gone up, but I trust him.
Well, one of two things is gonna happen. Either he's going to actually bring us with him, or he's going to die immediately. Or is one of these
So
things
what
is,
are we doing in the meantime?
I don't know, rounding up all of these
Help
people.
us find all our friends. Regroup.
That works for me. There's no more the wire cages or soldiers around, right?
Yeah, the wire cages have all just fallen to the ground.
Oh, I bet that killed some people.
I mean, people... That's a really good question.
Just like
like dropping a cheese grater off
Yeah.
the Eiffel Tower onto a kid. Velocity Play-Doh.
It's just a sentence you don't hear often.
just become a series of like.
I found a new way to cut cheese, Roman.
It would all shoot upwards too. It would just
Please stop.
High or low, Aaron?
low.
One person died because he
Hey,
thought-
look at the.
he was pretending that it was like his pet and it was like hovering above him, and he was like making efforts to walk underneath it, and then it stopped. Everybody else had more common sense. This is what happens when you have an imagination.
I think they're friendly, guys.
It slams to the earth like a meteor.
Yeah, but Pimran's definitely down to help find everybody, regroup,
Okay.
locate people. I'll fly around and scout.
There are not terribly many injured soldiers. Most people either just died, they bled out pretty quickly, or they just never got hurt because generally these people are better fighters than the pawns were. And they knew about the pawns' secret skull weaknesses.
Secret. Hit him in the head.
It was like somewhere in the chest for most of them. Some of them had multiple tiny skulls.
Look, all I'm saying is when you say their weakness is their skull, it's not very...
Their weakness is hitting them until they die. Yes. You're able to band most of the people back together.
How long does that take, roughly?
It probably would take you about an hour.
Okay.
Because everybody's kind of already been regrouping themselves.
So I can fly for about 4 hours a day.
Okay.
So just making sure.
The captain,
2 hours a day.
the captain told them that he was going to go back to the Dix estate so that he could send a message back to headquarters that they have achieved victory. And then he
While
just
they
kind
were
of took off.
fighting.
And different people have different stories as to which direction he went, but you know, you're not necessarily going after him, so that's not, I don't think, information that you were
going back to
looking
Nine's
for.
house then.
I'm gonna wait until I stop seeing snake people.
You haven't seen the snake people for a bit
They
now.
left.
Yeah, if you spent like an hour, then you haven't seen them for like an hour.
Well, then we go back to the estate.
And it will take you probably a bit longer than an hour because everybody's tired from their skirmish and the few wounded people you have. Not much longer than an hour, and you can get back to the Dix estate.
So we left, risked our lives, and accomplished not a damn thing.
I don't think we risked our lives. Nothing happened to us.
Well, something
Your
could
horse
have
had
happened
to sit
us.
there for like
Yeah.
uncomfortably for a long
The
time.
horse has rope burns.
I mean, we could have just stayed here.
We had no idea what that vortex would do to us, but it turned out alright.
Is the captain here?
The captain is not here, nor are any snake people.
What about his men? That left him?
The guys who were left behind are still here. They seem very happy to see you. They apparently didn't like the idea of just being 60 dudes sitting all alone by the estate, which has been, recently in previous months attacked by otherworldly forces, especially when we know that there's something horrific going on down the road. So they're happy to see you guys back and to have most of their comrades back. They're a little sad that you didn't have like copious amounts of food that you brought back with you.
We know where there's some meat.
Yeah, if y'all want to march back to the city, there's more
If
meat
you want
than
snake
eat in
meat.
a month.
There is a bit of snake meat, yes. It's unfortunately moderately indistinguishable from man meat.
And melted metal.
Yeah, that also.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Sometimes it's just that big pile
There's
of
the
meat
big
sitting right
meatloaf.
in the middle of the square.
No, that became the god, and then the
Yeah,
god
but then it became
shrunk.
meat again.
Yes,
Well,
big.
it became
Yeah,
a
but
tiny
like a
bit.
normal guy's worth of meat.
Yeah, we don't know where the rest of the meat went.
Still, that's like 200 pounds of meat.
What
That's a
about
lot
the
of
meat that's on the roof of the building? We get sucked into the vortex.
There was meat up there.
There was
Remember
no-
the floor with the all meat.
That was the body.
Yeah, it was in the
Yeah.
body.
We were inside. That's the same meat we were
That was
previously discussing.
the marble dude that was inside him.
Yeah, it's not nearly as much meat now.
Oh, okay.
Let's just go back to the city then.
Oh, also, you should all know that you're under new management now.
What?
Yeah.
Uh,
Alright.
So I
the
take it their captain never made it back here.
so we walked
the
all
60
way
dudes are
there,
very surprised. The other guys all
walked all the way back.
hurriedly
and then you
explain
walked
it to
all the way
them.
back
Yes.
there again.
I'll let you.
There's no anybody here but these guys. What are we gonna do sitting here?
Oh, where is the chosen one, by the way?
over there. He's just kind of sitting by the fire alone because he knows none of these people.
At least if we go back to the city, And the skull asshole really does return, he'll know where to find us.
You don't care because you keep riding the damn horse back and forth.
Correct.
It's a long fucking walk.
Get a horse.
I recommend flying.
Yeah, I can do that too.
As you may be aware, we ate all the horses. He looks at horse real quick and looks away.
That literally won't work. It's magic.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He stops existing when he dies.
I don't know what you're talking about. What are you insinuating, sir?
That I'm more likely to eat you.
What are you talking about, sir? I don't know what are you implying? Do we have any rations left?
So we just walked all this way so we can turn around and walk all the way back.
We had to collect more fodder.
What the hell?
There's nothing here.
I could have gone to the cafe and just hung out.
Yeah, I don't know
And
why you
waited for
didn't.
your lazy ass.
The cafe might have just moved around you and taken you closer to any destination.
My original plan was to not go anywhere. You kept complaining, so we went here looking for the captain. He ain't here.
We should check up on the chosen one while we're here too.
He's right there. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Whoa, wow. I want to see how he's doing.
He's
We didn't catch up with him after the other group.
he didn't do anything
He
though.
seems to be rocking back and forth, sitting on an upside down bucket in front of the fire.
Hey, buddy, how you doing? I'll just kind of pat his back.
Everybody I've ever loved is dead.
Is that the music? Is that what it sounds like?
Oh yes, I hear it now. He's doing some kind of a tune.
How chosen do you feel? Let's give him 1 to 10.
Why am I here? Is it only to suffer? Why was I chosen to be alive when everybody else died?
Because dying sucks.
Do you feel like you were especially suffering, like you were chosen to suffer?
I think so, yes.
Well, that probably is chosen by something.
What a cruel joke.
I apologize. I doubted that you were the chosen one for just a few minutes there because I wasn't sure, but you know, it makes sense. It makes sense. I don't see anyone else that would be chosen.
I don't think he's the chosen one.
Well, if he's the chosen one, then he needs to get a hold of the captain.
Do you feel like you could do magic now?
I could always do magic.
Well, you need to get a hold of the
Maybe you're
captain and
always
find out where the hell he is.
Oh, I can't do that. Not unless you have
you're not
any
chosen.
kind of artifact that can do that. That's what they usually use, right? That's what the monster hunters were always using. That's why we had the amulets, so they couldn't do that to us. I got mine. You see, I still have it. It's part of what makes me magic.
You can't touch it yet.
No, I
Wasn't
can't.
he a guard for the cult? Why does he have a monster
He was
hunter
the
thing?
cook.
No, he
No,
has
not the
a
cook.
he has one of
No,
the amulets against scrying. The monster hunters have like the exact opposite of that. They have the
We found a random guard that I believe it was a random guard.
yes.
Yeah, he just said that because the cook was just stoned and he wasn't the chosen one.
Yeah.
So he decided this guy was the chosen one.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. So, yeah, let's go.
I still don't feel like my
The snake people descend gracefully from the heavens. They have a very tightly wrapped bundle.
Oh, good, they did find us.
Okay, so just for mental imagery. Here.
Yes.
Do the snakes just float, or do they have like wings? Like, are they
No, they're just floating.
They're just floating. Okay, cool.
They're just kind of gracefully floating through the air.
Sky wigglers, they call them.
Do they
Yes.
go straight or do they do this?
It actually
Up and down.
it actually seems to vary based on the personality of each individual snake.
Just imagining a snake just fully like a needle, just straight out. Just
The snake equivalent of T-posing. Yeah.
They go completely
Eye posing.
straight, and then they turn sideways and go this way.
Perfect.
The old
The riders have to be
Skywinders.
like,
Riding side saddle on your snake through the heavens. So they descend.
because the eyes are like,
That's a good point. Actually.
Interesting.
I can't tell if you have a headache or you're just really upset.
I'm not. I'm enjoying the hell out of this.
So they've wrapped a human-shaped bundle so tightly that the leader of these monster hunters, he just kind of sets like this mummy down on its feet and it stands rigidly straight on the ground. He pats it and it kind of wobbles. Says, "We got him."
That's the captain?
Yes, indeed. We demoted him, so he is
Oh,
no
sorry.
longer the captain, I suppose. He is the prisoner. That's what we'll call him.
That's the prisoner. So it doesn't look like he's getting out of that. That's good.
No, I am fairly certain he's not going to get out of that.
I trot up to him and I just poke him and see if he, like, is alive.
He seems to be like in a plaster cast. He just kind of wobbles.
They have air holes.
Yes, we did give him those. I did hear that, people who belong to his, sort of esoteric traditions don't actually have to breathe there, but we decided not to risk it.
No, I'm very much okay with this. I turn horse around, have him just put the ass right on it,
No.
and just horse fart.
Oh, that's interesting. Never thought to do
You
that.
can just command him to do that.
Yeah. I can communicate with him telepathically and he obeys my every whim.
Can you give me a perception roll based on hearing, please?
It's only a 7, but I know in my
Okay.
heart.
And the horse has only ever eaten gravy, right? Just checking. Just checking.
Hey, can he hear at all?
I imagine so. We didn't poke him ear holes,
Hey,
but
fuck you.
yeah, this is gonna be fun, isn't it?
No, I'm done.
I hear they don't have to eat either, so we can just kind of leave him.
I
This-
recommend still feeding him. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we can feed him horse gravy. It's not as good as it sounds.
it doesn't sound good.
It's not bad as this.
Is this gravy made from horses, or?
Sort of. It comes out of a horse.
Yeah, we're not gonna feed him, I don't think, unless we really need to.
You see, you feed a horse
You really
gravy
need to,
and
yeah,
then
you really need to.
it just comes up the other end very similar.
Oh god.
I'm beginning to wonder if this was a mistake.
Stick a funnel on that thing.
I think continuing to listen to him is a mistake. But,
So he picks the captain, the prisoner back up. Yep. So, I think we're gonna. Is this your house? This is your house, right? That's what we were told. This is the Dix estate,
It belonged to someone else.
the House of Dix. Would you mind if we rented it from you?
Go for it.
We'll pay you 300 pieces of gold a night. We only intend to be here a few nights.
I'm good with that.
All right, we don't have it at the moment, but we will pay you eventually.
Of course.
No,
you
it's
keep it
fine.
in
I
your-
got my
your
satisfaction.
mind
You
house,
can
right?
have the. You've earned my trust.
Oh, thank you. They just kind of snake in through the front door and then close the door behind them, taking the prisoner with them.
I hope they do stuff to him. I don't care what, as long as he doesn't like it.
He's probably not enjoying any part of this.
Well, no, and they're probably not going to enjoy that thing that we didn't succeed in killing.
That didn't bother us for the next 24 hours. I assume it went away.
So what will you do now? They essentially said they plan to be here for a couple days. So that probably means they're not intending to portal out for a couple days.
Well, they said he only needed it for 3 days, so I want to find that guy.
You want to find that guy? Who's that guy?
Skullman.
So the guy you were just talking to.
Yes.
Just now. Okay. So you just open the front door and walk in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going
yes.
to. Well, I still live here, so.
Oh yes, I forgot. Sorry. There's been a lot of things going on lately. It's not that I forgot. I just wasn't really putting two and two together. I was under the impression you hated this place with every scale of your being, and I'm sorry, was that insensitive?
No.
And that you wouldn't want to live here. So it was just perfectly fine if look, there's people burned into the walls. You never even asked me anything. What were you going to tell me?
If you leave to go kill the other thing, we're coming with you.
That was the plan, yes.
And you said you only needed the skull for 3 days, and you said you were going to stay here for a few days. So
Yes, forget that. That's a different thing now.
Okay.
This guy just has so much information in his head that just sitting there talking to someone, some of it just starts to spill out. Just like, here, have these facts.
First in, last out. Brain function.
Well, then we got all your new recruits. I don't know if you want someone to like
Oh yeah, that's right. We were going to not kill those.
feed and train them.
Yes, that would be great.
I'm not doing it.
Oh, I thought you were offering.
No, I was telling you.
Yeah, we'll worry about that later. We don't need them for the moment.
I can only feed a few of them a day, so unless you have some sort of supplies to...
Listen,
I mean, we do.
you laughed at the old monster hunters and said they don't take care of your people.
Yeah, they're
They're
terrible.
your people now.
I mean, we haven't offered them an invitation of any kind. They're just enemy combatants at the moment until
Listen,
we
if
officially change the designation.
This sounds
Do you
like
see a
this
book? Do you see
sort
a
of-
book in my hands?
Yes.
I cannot change the.
You said you
Rip.
keep all the records up here.
Well, yes, they start up here. They're not finalized until ink is on page.
This is the
This is
exact
the fundamental working of the world.
BS
But you were gonna-
hypocrisy that the old guys
You
did.
were going to write him an IOU.
Yes. I feel like this is a trap. Go on.
Well, I'm just saying, what's the difference? Why is one large transaction okay to be mental and
They're individual documents for all of them. It would be a very long and
Just feed the
complicated
fucking
process.
people before I feed them your snake.
I suppose if we feed them, it minimizes their chances of not being there when we do want them later.
I assume there's food in the city.
No.
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 There
That would be
wasn't
that would be a
while
wrong
ago.
assumption.
I mean, there might be for you, since you're a squirrel.
Yes, as a squirrel, you can get all the nuts you want. There are a lot of nuts in the forest. Not so much in the town. You may need to fight other squirrels for their nuts, but
If a druid's hungry, okay,
No.
can he?
No.
Shut up. Can he become something
No.
small? Go and satiate his hunger, and then un-animal, and he's good.
I mean, I would
No.
say absolutely yes.
if a druid's hungry, Goodberry.
Yes, Goodberry.
That's the
But-
entire answer to everything.
But also, I do like the idea of
It would
the
have to
druid
digest
spitefully feeding themselves
But,
by
like-
turning into a fish and just like eating a bug,
If there was
and then
no, like-
unturning from a fish into a person and be
Yeah.
like, I don't know what you guys are all complaining
If there was no
about.
food around that the druid could eat, could he turn into an animal, eat what is around that the animal could eat, and then he'd be good?
Yes, but you also have Goodberry.
But
When you
I'm just
turn-
saying, he could.
back into a person, you just still have that food in your stomach. It has to get
What if I
digested and
stay
But
turn
what
Yeah,
if
into
somebody was a
energy.
dragon and they ate a cow and then they turned back into a medium or small creature? But they don't just die.
No, it condenses.
We're gonna hand wave the nutritional magic.
If it can
is what we're
condense,
gonna
it
do.
can expand as
No, what?
well. Yeah.
Proportional.
Yeah, if
Satiety.
it turn into something large and then eat a person, and then the person condenses inside you, you just got like this person brick, like that's gonna be really hard to pass out.
Why would it be brick shaped?
No, like
Or
it'll
stay
be-
hard?
I mean, it'll be really dense.
Okay,
Like, if it's
we're getting
compacted.
this literal with mass and stuff, what happens to your equipment when you're welding?
Exactly what my
It's
thing was.
Magic.
Yeah.
Magic.
So I could go into the
Very
woods and eat
profane
some
magic.
acorns that I couldn't eat as a person.
If I
and
listen to your
fine.
live stream, can I get the
There you go.
same sort of good content? Or...
We don't tend to quite deliberate so much.
No, the tone tends to be a
A more
little
honest,
different.
Yeah,
My point
Tell
is,
me
you
you
don't
run
need
a
to worry
serious
about
campaign.
feeding me. I can
yeah.
use
It's
the
not
berry to feed the
serious,
armies.
Oh,
but,
okay.
That wasn't your point at all.
That's my point now.
That was a completely different. You didn't even remember you had good
I
berry.
made that conversation useful by saying
you can
that.
eat acorns as a squirrel and you will be
That leaves the
You will
good
be
berries
full.
for the army.
That's
yes.
a fair point.
See how
Okay,
useful
well, look
I
at
am.
that. There we go.
I saved the
You
day
could also turn the army into squirrels and feed them nuts, but
No.
you can't use your beast
I
shape to
could,
do it.
Yeah.
You
I
would
only
have
have
to-
one use of
How
polymorph a day.
many good berries could you
Summon
make?
ten-
since we
summon
didn't use
10
the hands
cows.
on
Let them butcher the cows.
It's a
and then there
cantrip,
you go.
right?
No, when they hit
Personal
0
spell.
HP, they stop existing.
Well, I only had one left.
Well, you
For
can use all
today.
your spell slots though, right?
Oh yeah,
Jesus
It doesn't have to
Christ.
just be first levels.
sure for now.
What the fuck?
We don't need
No,
to-
it's 10
Here
10
come,
berries
here come,
per.
here
not a
come
level.
cows all over the place.
No, I'm seeing how
That's
many
a
I
lot
have.
of
1,
people.
2,
Yes.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spell slots available.
90 people.
Total with level 1.
What? That's all the spell slots I have open that I can cast Good Berry with. Unless I make more berries with higher level spells, but I don't think I do.
No.
No, you don't.
All right. You can feed 90 people if you wish. They will be very grateful for it.
Do I have good berry? I don't think I took good berry. Do Rangers get good berry? They don't have the full druid spells, right? Either way, they don't have it.
I think only druids get good berry.
So that might be right.
I don't think even nature clerics get it.
I could have taken good berry. Not.
Astounding.
We will end there for tonight. It's just about 9. We'll reconvene unless you guys want to do anything in the intervening days. Once the snake men are ready to teleport away,
I want to scour the city for orphans.
you may scour the city for orphans
Do I
and you will
find
find
it?
0 orphans.
They were magically liquefied. I don't know what you expect.
Herman will just help with feeding people,
Okay.
fishing and stuff. So that's what we'll do.
Excellent. Can you please